soon as it comes on the screen, you start. It follows whatever object you're going all the way through frame by frame, and this may take a lot of somewhat tedious, done by hand work, and then eventually the whole clip is just blacked out. So at this point, we can go back to the start of it and then take clip B or whatever the other clip that you're trying to transition in is, and then pull it so it's under that track. So this clip with the mask is over whatever clip you're transitioning into. And then what you get is a really neat effect where this woman wipes away and whatever's underneath is revealed. At this point, you can also technically cut the top clip and delete that extra tail end of it if you don't want it. But that's basically how to do that custom masked transition effect using objects in the video. So if you guys like this tutorial, then I'd encourage you to subscribe and check out my channel to stay tuned for all future videos. And follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that, if you want to send me video links or examples for your own question. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hi everyone, my name is Justin Odisho, and in this Adobe Premiere Pro tutorial, I'm going to show you the basics of adding transitions in between clips. So this is a staple technique to know, and it's great for beginners. Now, I have two clips on my timeline right now, and as you see when I play between them, there's just a cut in between the two clips. Now keep in mind that a cut is actually a transition, and cuts can go a long way and be very useful in a lot of your video editing projects. So don't underestimate a simple cut. But if you don't want to do that jump cut and you want to do a fade or something else, the first way that's going to be easiest for you to add a transition is right click in between the two clips, and you should be able to select apply default transitions. Now that goes for video clips or audio tracks. And what that'll give you is your default cross dissolve or cross fade. Now if you click on the actual transition, you should see this little tape stripe that says cross dissolve. You can click on the ends of it to stretch it longer or shorter either way, but just remember how much clip room you actually have. And if you click on it to highlight it and head over to effect controls in your panel, you can also adjust some certain things about it. So I can adjust one side of it to be longer on one end of the clip, or you could choose the alignment to start at the center, the beginning of one clip, and so on. I'll keep it at the center. That's probably the most common way you can do it. But let's say you don't want just this basic cross dissolve. Where are all the other transitions in Adobe Premiere? So what I'll do is I'll click on it, I'll press delete to remove it, and instead of right clicking in between the clips, if you actually go over to your effects panel, which should be on the right here, if you don't see it, then you can always go to window and find effects or reset your workspaces. So I'll open my effects panel, and you should see a bunch of these different folders. And if you head over to video transitions, you can start to see some of the different options you have aside from just a basic cross dissolve. So in the dissolve menu, you have the cross dissolve, which is the default. You also have things like dip to black, dip to white, and some other options that can be useful in different scenarios for whatever you're trying to achieve. There's also your common peels and wipes, which I don't know if they always look so good on videos. Sometimes they look a little cheesy. Be careful with those, but you can also use these on text clips or shapes or whatever type of clips you have, so they can be good to know. Now, like before, when you click on it and head to effect controls, you can still stretch the time and the duration of the clip. However, when you're using different type of transitions aside from dissolve, you now have control. You can start it already halfway through and stop it halfway through. I don't know why you'd want to do that in most cases, but there might be some creative cases where you don't want the transition to fade from A to B completely smoothly. But those are your video transitions. There's also audio transitions if you want to transition between audio clip, but really there's just the fade with different levels of fade to it. But that's just a basic tutorial for beginners on how to apply video transitions using the tools Premiere gives you. So hopefully for those of you that needed to learn this showed you guys where to start. And in the future, I may make some more advanced Adobe Premiere Pro transition tutorials, which take advantage of video effects and blurs and keyframes and flashes and all that. So if you guys did enjoy this video, definitely hit a like on the video below. Check out the Adobe Premiere Pro tutorial playlist on my channel for more, and definitely subscribe to my channel to stay tuned for all my new videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hi everyone, my name is Justin Odisho, and in this Adobe Premiere Pro CC tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a smooth spin transition effect to add to your clips and projects. So before we begin this tutorial, I just want to say if you're not following me on social media, like Instagram and Twitter, then I've got a lot of good things in the works, like a whole creators store that's going to be up on my website, and presets and all that. So if you want to stay notified for when that stuff goes up real soon, then check the description for all my links. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, then make sure you subscribe. I know we're right about to cross the 100,000 subscriber mark. Thanks to you guys, and I really appreciate it. So getting into this effect, you can see that I've got two clips laid on the timeline, clip A and clip B, and I want to transition in between them with a smooth spin at this cut. So the first thing I want to do is highlight my project media bin and then go to File, New, Adjustment Layer. This is going to give us a blank adjustment layer for us to work on so that we can click and drag it in between our cut over top of our two clips, and then any effects we apply here will affect both of the clips throughout the cut. So this is a bit too long of an adjustment layer, and I'm going to trim it down to size. So in order to get exactly on the cut, what I'll do is I'll use the up and down arrow keys, which will get us right to any cuts as long as those tracks are highlighted. So now that I'm in the middle, I'm going to key over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 to the left, and then you can just press Command K if you want, that'll cut it, and then you can delete that piece, or